questions, and it really boils down to why. And I really would love my why answered, because at least if that gets answered, I can get closure.
The family of a colorful Las Vegas personality continues to push for answers. James Buffalo Jim Barrier died nearly 2 decades ago.
In part one of this special report, Kristen Drummond takes a look at the life of Buffalo Jim and his public feud with the owner of a former strip club.
Here you go, sir. Buffalo Jim Barrier.
One of Las Vegas's most colorful characters.
I'm Buffalo Jim, and I'm here with my brother, the mighty Yokozuna.
James Barrier, who went by the name Buffalo Jim, was a local businessman.
Get this going in the morning.
He owned Allstate Auto Repair Shop and ran a wrestling school called Buffalo Wrestling Federation.
He was very passionate about wrestling and making sure that young wrestlers get trained so that they can move to professional wrestling.
Even owning his own local wrestling show called Gym Wars. Buffalo Jim also spending time with some big names in professional wrestling.
Goldberg and Stone Cold Steve Austin and others who hung around his garage just because they loved him.
Jennifer Barrier says her father was a larger-than-life personality.
My dad was so interesting to me, and he was like a cartoon person to me, like he always making me laugh.
A self-taught mechanic and entrepreneur, but also a family man.
He had 4 daughters, and he was highly protective of us.
His protective nature needed more as time went on. Barrier's auto shop and wrestling school once standing here in what is now a vacant lot on Industrial Road just west of the Las Vegas Strip. But the former wrestler's most notable matchup came outside of the ring with his neighbor. In the late 1990s, he found himself in a feud with his landlord and Crazy Horse 2 owner, Rick Rizzolo.
He was like, I'm in the feud with someone, the neighboring business that wants to drive me out, and I'm not going to take his pennies. He needs to pay me what we're worth in order for me to move my shop and my wrestling school.
Crazy Horse 2 was looking to expand and needed Barrier to sell his property. News 3 following many of his legal battles with Rizzolo.
Rizzolo's just like O.J. Simpson. There's no difference between him. He's doing the O.J. thing. The FBI can't even find the money he has.
Jennifer says Rizzolo refused to pay what her dad was asking for in return.
I used to ask my dad why he's continuing to do this. Why don't you just leave? And I'll never forget his words to me. He said, kid, I came from nothing, and I'm not going to let someone take something away from me.
Barrier filing police reports, accusing Rizzolo and people who worked for him of auto grand larceny and harassment. Former city councilman and journalist Steve Miller says Barrier wasn't going to back down.
Buffalo was a Cherokee Indian, half and half Greek, and that was a very tough combination of blood. He couldn't be bullied.
Barrier standing strong, and in 2006, the FBI raided the Crazy Horse 2 after investigating Rizzolo and the club.
It's centered around everything from prostitution to extortion to money laundering, tax evasion, to credit card fraud.
Retired local FBI agent and founder of Sin City Private Investigators, Robert Clymer. He says they started looking into the club because of its ties to organized crime. Barrier documenting wrongdoings he witnessed at the strip club parking lot and at the front entrance, providing important information to the local FBI office.
Drug paraphernalia.
He would hear things about, hey, there was a fight last night, or this happened, or whatever, and he would let us know.
Clymer says staff roughed up visitors routinely to extort money. One of the customers ending up with a broken neck.
That's federal extortion. That's one of the predicate offenses for RICO, and that's what we're investigating.
Federal investigators filing tax evasion charges against Rizzolo. He went to prison in 2007 after pleading guilty, but concerns for Barrier's safety began to mount.
I was scared for him. I went home, told my mom, we need to leave. He didn't deserve to lose his life like this. He lost his life, and he deserves justice.
All of us who knew Buffalo knew he would never kill himself on that day.
James Barrier was in a public feud with Crazy Horse 2 strip club owner Rick Rizzolo. Following an FBI raid, Rizzolo pled guilty to tax evasion charges. Jennifer Barrier says despite the sentencing, concerns for her father's life never went away.
He said he was concerned for his safety. He said Rick went to prison, and when he gets out, it's going to be a war.
On April 4, 2008, Rizzolo was released from federal custody. That same day, Barrier told friends and family that he received a death threat.
He felt that whoever wrote that letter cared for him and was trying to forewarn him.
And I said, what do you think could happen to you? And he said, if anything happens to me, it would be done through a stratagem. It would be made to look like I died of a drug overdose in a hotel with women.
A day later, Barrier left his home to meet up with a friend. That was the last time he talked with his family. The woman he was with, who's been identified as Lisa, never called paramedics. On April 6, Barrier's body was found by a maid inside a room at the Motel 6 off of Boulder Highway. According to officers, a white powder substance was found on his shirt.
You look at the full scene, I've looked at all the photos. It looks like a setup.
Surveillance video from that night at Motel 6 shows he was in good spirits while checking in, but the autopsy revealed Barrier died shortly after. The woman he was with initially told officers that she left the room when Barrier went to the bathroom, but later said she left the room after he had a seizure.
If he was convulsing and Lisa is telling the truth, it wouldn't look like that.
According to the Clark County coroner, Barrier died of a heart muscle disease due to cocaine in his body. We asked former Clark County coroner Michael Murphy about those results. He says he stands by the report. Former FBI agent Robert Clymer, who is the founder of Sin City Private Investigators, agrees with his family that the case should be reopened.
There's more there, yeah. If the Bureau could get involved, that'd be awesome. If somebody knows some information, I think the FBI would be interested in learning that information.
Because if this was just my dad died of a cocaine overdose, they would sit me down and show me the proof.
Jennifer says federal investigators believe it is suspicious. News 3 reached out to the FBI's Las Vegas office for comment on the investigation, but a spokesperson told us Jennifer Barrier cannot communicate with the press. At this time, we declined to comment about this case. However, Jennifer says the FBI has never told her that.
An FBI agent I was working with last year that recently retired had said that if this case opens, it would open a can of worms. And I said, is that a good thing? He said, yes, it would keep us busy. I said, what's the holdup? Metro. They need to open the case so we can work with them.
Jennifer says Metro told her that they would look into the case again if new evidence is presented, but she wants Metro to look at the evidence that's already been collected into her father's death.
Looking at new evidence now is not going to matter. Let's go back to the real details here and let's evaluate that first. Let's go to the ABCs, not the X, Y, and Zs.
She says she just wants to know what happened 17 years ago and get the closure her family needs.
Answer my question, why won't you investigate this? So I can close that chapter.
A lot of us were around in 2008. We were concerned for his safety. He was having a very public feud with Rick Rizzolo, the owner of that strip club.
Yeah, what a determined daughter. Do we know, Dana, if the family's ever tried to get the body exhumed?
They actually have. They asked Metro to do just that, but so far that has not happened. But if there are any developments in this case, we will continue to follow them on air and online at news3lv.com. And by the way, if you missed Kristen's first part that aired last night, you can watch that one and this one on our YouTube page.
Yeah, fascinating story, and you could just feel the passion from that daughter. You hope that she gets the answers that she needs.